All right, folks, John Rush here, my son Richard Rush behind the camera. We've got a review of the new 2016 Lexus ES. Now, this is the ES model that, frankly, in previous reviews you've seen us talk about, and this is one of our favorite cars. Why? We'll get into the review and we'll talk about this. So let's start in the front. They've done a little bit of redesign on the front and the rear of the car. Nothing too major, nothing too tragic. The car looks fantastic as it always had. This is, again, one of our favorite cars. They've just done a really great job. It's a great value. This car, as it sits, this is our test car, so the way this car sits is it's right at about $49,000, so just shy under $50,000. You get a lot of value in the luxury car market for that money. Big back seat, which we'll get into in just a little bit. We'll show you that. Richard just showed you a real quick shot of the interior. And as you can see, again, a little bit of restyling that they've done in the back. And you know what, it's hard to tell just driving down the road. This car from the previous generation, so that just tells you there wasn't a lot of things that they've changed. It's very, very subtle. It does have this optional, and I don't know, Richard, if you can actually show this, but this particular car does have the optional sky roof, they call it, which you can just get this now all by itself. You don't have to buy any package to get it. And nice added feature on this car. So Lexus did a great job on that. So I tell you what, let's do. Let's, since I'm here, let's just get into the trunk. It's got one of the nicest, spacious trunks in the market. It's, again, automatic opening, automatic closing. And as you look inside here, nice, big, full trunk. It's got a pass-through where the center console is right there. Very, very spacious trunk. Lots of room for luggage. Richard and I just took a real short trip up to the mountains and back in this car. Spent, I don't know, several hours in it in a row. The car works great. You can get everything you want to get in the back of this car. So if 4 adults are traveling, you can literally get everything you want to get in the back of the car. Push the button, trunk goes back down. It's again, just a great value. I can't say enough about this car. As I hop into the back seat real fast, it does have the sunshades. They are not automatic, but they do come up. It does keep this back much cooler when those are out like they are. Nice apportionments throughout. When I climb in, this seat is back almost all the way. I have got more than enough leg room back here. Again, I'm 5'10", and even with the sunroof back here, the sky roof option, nice headroom back here. You've got your dome lights in that back in the back. There are vents and a power port back here. And there is the fold down console here in the middle with cup holders, and that's where you can allow things to be passed through if you've got skis or things like that and you don't want to go throw a roof rack up on top. Tell you what, let me jump into the front seat and we'll continue the review. All right, folks, we're now in the front seat. Lexus 2016 Lexus ES350, and again, 3.5 liter engine, just a tad under $50,000 this car sits. It's a great buy, very luxurious, very roomy. As you sit inside the front seat, really lots of room in this front seat. In fact, we just hopped out of a GS. We did a big press event here not that long ago, last couple of days. We're actually in a GS, and frankly, plenty of room inside the ES. Very luxurious. We'll get into the driving portion. I'll show you some of the infotainment systems and how that works. Dual climate control, heated and ventilated front seats, apportionments throughout. Richard can show you the door panel. Even on the passenger side, you've got three memory settings for the passenger seat and where it's at, along with 3 for the driver's side. Steering wheel controls and all that are pretty standard when it comes to the Lexus lineup. This car does have lane departure, lots and lots of safety features on this car. A few they've added for this 2016 model year. I encourage you to look all that up, but it's got pedestrian warning and things along those lines. It's, again, this is a great value. We get emails and questions all the time asking, you know, this compared to like the high-end Avalon, which one would we choose? Frankly, personally, me speaking, especially in 2016, they've done some sound deadening, some additional sound deadening inside the interior. I would buy an ES all day long. You're moving into the Lexus line. Yes, it's the bottom, kind of the bottom end of the Lexus line. As far as the price goes, I would still step up, buy the Lexus. I think you get much more car for the money, and I think the resale value on down the road for the ES would be that much better than an Avalon. But I tell you what, I'll put Richard in the back seat. We'll take a quick drive, and I'll show you some of the interior features of the 2016 Lexus ES350. All right, folks, we're going to start the driving portion, and as I'm doing that, let me turn down this ventilated seat on that passenger side so you don't hear the fan running. Again, ventilated, heated front seats, heated steering wheel, all the standard Lexus controls, which are great. The car works, you know, fantastic. One thing that we haven't checked though real quick, which I should do, 26.2 miles to the gallon we've averaged in this car. We just did a nice highway drive up I-70 into the mountains going over the pass. So really rounded numbers there for 26 miles to the gallon. Not bad. This car's got all the power you'll need. Again, works, drives, handles fantastic. As we were going up the pass on the way up, we were in a parade of a bunch of other press cars and so on, and Richard had the opportunity to actually be behind the wheel of a new BMW M2, and I will just tell you right now that despite what some of you BMW fans might think, as far as actual normal driving, staying under the speed limit or even within a reasonable speed limits, this car kept up with the M2 all the way up the passes. So this car works fantastic. So Lexus, you've done a great job. Infotainment wise, not going to get into great detail there because it's really the standard Lexus system. You've got your controls here, you've got your feedback coming up there, everything is there. If I go to the menu, you can scroll through everything from nav to phone to your media to the radio, you name it, it's all there. The minute I put the vehicle in reverse, and it does have the dynamic grid lines. The rear shade pops down. You may have just heard the noise for that, but it does have the dynamic grid lines, tell you how close you are to the curb and so on. Again, works very well. Let's start driving. And as I said earlier in the review, for 2016, they have added some features that make this car much quieter on the inside. I know that's hard for us to explain in the actual review and actually show you via the camera system how quiet the interior is. But I think as we get to driving here, you'll just figure out that we are not talking any louder than I just was when we were parked, and yet I'm doing 40 miles an hour down the road. So the car is extremely quiet on the inside, nimble. I love the steering. They've done a good job on that. It doesn't feel like a large car when you're driving it. It actually has a really great steering wheel, or steering feel to it, I guess I should say. Front wheel drive, this particular model that we're driving, the ES350, and again the 350, a 3.5 liter V6, which again just works out fantastic. So what do I think of this particular vehicle? I think you can already tell. For me personally, this is one of the best buys in the marketplace when it comes to luxury vehicles. You got plenty of room in the back seat, plenty of room in the front seat, 26 miles to the gallon, and you do all of that in a luxury brand, in a very great car, for less than $50,000. You know what? We just got done driving a bunch of different vehicles in this class. This car holds its own extremely well. I would encourage you, if you're in the market for this car, go out, test drive it, check it out at your local Lexus dealer. While you're there, please tell them that John and Richard Rush from Drive Radio sent you.